Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Bobnak, and welcome to Meet the Mailers, brought to you by Who's Mailing What, a direct mail 2.0 company. On today's program, episode 50, I'm talking with Dave Baird. He is the president of Truly Engaging. Now, before we get started, if you have any questions or feedback, please comment in the box below. You can show your support for the program and for this episode by tapping the like button. And to get notified of when we add new videos to the Who's Mailing What channel here on YouTube, click on the subscribe bell. Now let's meet the mailers. Hey Dave, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, hey, great to be with you, Paul. Thanks for having me on.
You're quite welcome. I've been wanting to have you on for a while and glad finally here. So why don't we start by talking about how everybody has a journey to where they are today from where they were before. Why don't you start by talking about your involvement in it's a family business and how the company changed from Magnet Street
Yeah,
in response to market demand and becoming truly engaging.
sure. Well, yeah, like you said, it's a family business. It's been around, man, I think we're pushing 35 years, something in that neighborhood. And it started with my father, who's now long since retired, but still with us. So he's doing great. But
Right?
yeah, so he had this vision of creating this magnet company way back literally in late 80s. And so as he was having ideas of how he could be the first to do short runs and full color and thinking insurance agents and sports teams and all those kind of things. And he was putting that all together. At the same time, my wife and I were getting ready to have our first child. And
Uh,
so Lauren, or I'm sorry, my wife Lisa had been a school social worker. And so we were getting ready for her just to stay home and thought, hey, we could make a few extra bucks if we kind of marketed some of these magnets to maybe realtors or something on the side. And so to say that it exploded at that point, it did because we just caught this huge real estate wave,
mhm.
around 95 and on. And so our timing, we may not have been the greatest, but our timing was the greatest. And our customers were very gracious. We caught on with Remax, and Remax literally went from 10,000 agents to 125,000 agents over a short period of time. So we rode the wave and did calendars and schedules and all those kind of things for realtors. So that's really how it all started and how I got involved in the business. So, and I was kind of part-time with it for a few years, and then it just got too big to handle. And then I went full-time, I suppose around 99, 2000, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And why don't you talk, a little bit about what your job involves today
sure.
as the president of Truly Engaging?
Yeah, for sure. I was going to mention the evolution from Magnet Street to Truly Engaging. In
Hmm.
'05, the internet really started to become a thing, and we were doing a lot of search engine optimization. And all of a sudden, we were started seeing all this save the date magnet and save the dates. And honestly, we had no clue. I went and bought a few wedding magazines on my way home from work on a Friday. My family officially thought I was nuts. And, within 6 months we launched at the time, we were Magnet Street, we became Magnet Street Weddings. And I think we did 75,000 weddings our first full year doing Save the Date. So again,
Wow, that's
short
crazy.
run, yeah, short run digital. The time, like we were just so fortunate to be at the time and place where we were, and so it would really, we carried on as Magnet Street Weddings as long as we could, but at the end of the day, a lot of brides, as we got into invitations and programs and all that, I don't think a lot of brides, ran to their friends and were excited to tell them, hey, I bought my invitations from a company called Magnet Street. Like it just didn't really, and so
Right.
Truly Engaging had been our wedding blog for at least a decade, and so we just made the merge from the blog and then covered the whole gamut of our markets and products, and it's been great. We're about, I suppose we're 3 full years as Truly Engaging now, and so we went
Okay.
through some bumps in the road with the website, but we got all that ironed out, switching the URL and all those things. But
Hmm.
we weathered that storm and a few others, and here we are.
Great. Yeah, I think it certainly works better as Truly Engaging for that audience. But speaking more broadly, can you give us a brief rundown of all the company's products and services, which I imagine still has, all the wedding invitations,
Yeah,
but the other products
sure.
and services you encompass.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, what brought us, to the business, just one of our, if this show's okay, but
Uh-huh.
calendar magnets is still a massive business for us. So serving small businesses of all kind, real estate was our original piece. But at the end of the day, it's still a physical, tangible thing. It's relatively inexpensive. And people in this country, they get a magnet, someone gives them a magnet, they just kind of know what to do with it. They go right to the fridge and stick. And believe me, it was great. We got our magnets on Seinfeld. We got it on different shows
Oh,
just by dumb luck. And so magnets are just kind of Americana. You watch a sitcom, you still see magnets on the fridge. So
right.
so really, that product is still super important. We literally print millions of magnets every week, and so it's still a core 10 of our business. Then we evolve into things. Oh, what do I got here for you? So we do a lot of sports schedules. Look at the Eagles schedule,
Oh, there
folks.
we go. Great.
They have that, right? And
Awesome.
so, sports schedules and, everything for small business with good content for them, just to keep their name and number and whatnot in front of their prospects. And then save the dates is still a core tenet of our business.
Hmm.
It's just a great vehicle for if you're, sending them out 9 months, a year before your wedding. It's still just a great product to, keep that up for at least a year, and usually they never get taken down. But if we go
No.
back to the core, this is really the product, one of the original products, and it's just come obviously a long way. I
Hmm.
mean, we were the first ones to do like a photograph on a magnet. I remember doing Notre Dame and Ohio State for a Sports
Oh,
Illustrated photographer. We did a whole series, and it really helped put us on the map with color magnets. And so that's literally way back early 90s. And so yeah, so we're still doing, sports schedules and all the major sports across the country. So yeah,
hmm.
we've as we have, we have universities is a big part of our business, colleges and universities. So we just keep taking something that
Yep.
was good and then hopefully making it a whole lot better, with all our varnishing and foils and all that.
Hmm.
So yeah, we kind of figure out what markets are we strong in and how do we bring more products and just that we can kind of raise the bar of excellence in them for them. So
Right, and I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit more,
yeah,
but I think there's certainly one of the great things about print products and direct mail as well as part of that is the permanency or the near permanency of it. That it can stick around for days, weeks, months, and in
absolutely.
the case of some of these for weddings, they just become permanent. They become part of your wedding album and all the
Absolutely.
materials that are part of that. So part of what makes a brand unmissable in today's for consumers, B2B consumers and B2C is keeping yourself top of mind. So uh, going back to what we started talking a little bit about, why is it that in our digital age that mail still works, generally speaking? And how is it that, you talked about this as well, that digital embellishments and finishes raise the bar even more?
Yeah. Well, I think that if there's not as much mail in our mailbox, there's some breathing room in there. So if there's something interesting, engaging, the chance of the consumer to find it and see it is a whole lot better. And so that's certainly one benefit. But at the same time, direct mail is competing with still all the other mediums. And if you get excellent medium on your phone or your computer or your TV, the direct mail can't live in the past. It has to keep raising the bar. Maybe we're not doing the exact same thing, but you have to keep showing excellence and why would I want to engage with this piece? And that's where for us, embellishments is, it's massive. And we bring it to every corner of our company that we can elevate our products, and direct mail in particular. It's
Hmm.
huge. It's a big win. It's just there's something about that tactile nature and something that brings out the print So we compete with every medium. And so this is just a great way to really stand out in the mailbox.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I see like a lot of on your different pieces, spot UV and a lot of other really cool techniques that can make a uh, parts of a printed piece really shine, literally shine.
Yeah, I mean, if you want another example, like for us, Christmas cards is a big part of our business and it's a big
Hmm.
growing part of our business. But if you can see, like we've elevated even
Yep.
Christmas cards. So not only, many companies have added foil, but now we've added foil
Hmm.
and varnish. So those photos just really pop, right? So it's still a 4/4 piece. You tell a great story. But yeah, so we'll bring embellishment any place that makes sense. We can do it economically and it will really elevate the product.
And embossing, it's just really, really, really cool. So why don't we talk about the magnet mailers first, which keeps a mail piece around for a while. Like you said, I have a bunch of them sitting on my fridge, and they've been up there for a while, and moving them around every once in a while.
Yeah.
And uh, are there any special design or size considerations for either the magnet or the printed piece, the mailing piece that it
Sure.
is attached to?
Yeah, so when we're doing direct mail, so we started direct mailing magnets, and so we were one of the first ones to gain US, you can kind of see USPS
Hmm.
approval, the way we use the removable glue to get, just to be able to stick the magnet on there. And if you can notice, see how the magnet is, the image on the postcard is screened behind it, and the magnet
Yep.
sits perfectly over that image,
Yeah, it's flush with it.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so that doesn't happen by accident. It takes a little bit
Hmm.
to get there, but this is just a 3.5 by 4 magnet on a 6 by 9 postcard. And
Uh-huh.
so it's 3.5 by 4, still a pretty economical but powerful. This is a college save the date for an event, but yeah, it delivers real well. All the coatings protected in the mail, and so even
Hmm.
if you get scuffed up a little bit on some of the some of the feeding equipment at the USPS. It's still it
Right.
does well,
Right.
but honestly, we do 3.5 by 4. Here's a just under a 4 by 6 magnet, so you can get
Hmm.
almost tip to tip with the 6 by 9 postcard. But
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, and again, like you said, something about a magnet when it goes up on the fridge, it rarely leaves. It's just one of
Yeah.
those. It's got tremendous inertia, and it's just kind of there. I guess when people move is probably the one time they finally clean off the fridge, but
Mm.
it does a lot of work long after that post. How long does a postcard typically last? Seconds. And
Right.
in case if we can give them a compelling reason, if you really target them well and that magnet is of value to them, you got a great shot at keeping that message around for a long, long time.
Yeah. And then, of course, most email milliseconds and
Yeah,
it's either gone or it's sitting in the inbox forever until
yeah,
you just
yeah,
do a mad deletion.
yeah.
Um, so I want to talk about something else related to magnets, even though it's not technically mail, just like a little bit of a detour.
Sure.
And these are the fresco tiles, which I saw you had posted about a while ago on LinkedIn, but I was really intrigued by it. Can you tell the story about what led to creating this product and,
Sure.
maybe how many different sizes are available for it?
You got it. Well, as you can see in my background, I'm a big fan. I love photography. I love sharing family and what hobbies and all that kind of stuff. So
Hmm.
my house, this is my office, but my house
Yeah.
is filled with, those old mixed tiles, all the photo tiles in a lot of different rooms and really big rooms, small rooms, and whatnot. And we had a problem with that. And it's just that, when we started putting them up in our house, the kids were aging, it's that stage of life where they were going from 8 to 18, a lot of
Yeah.
changes in their life. And they didn't look the same 3 months down the road, right? And so the kids were
Right.
starting to be like, do you mind taking that picture down? I don't want everybody in the house, everybody who comes into the house to see a picture of me with pigtails and braces and
Huh.
acne, whatever it was, right? I mean,
Right.
life moves fast, right? Your Instagram
It
photos
does.
fast. And so that was just something that was inherent. I was just kind of a problem. Like I didn't want to have to rebuy them every time. So, long story short, we were out. Pokemon is somebody we've been working with on some projects, and one in particular was a storyboard that you could move the characters around, right? So the kids could be in the back seat of the car. The cards wouldn't go flying; it would stay on this board. And that's what led us to develop this material that would receive a magnet, but still operate a lot like a magnet. And so bottom line is we created what we call a fresco photo tile, and it's got soft touch and whatnot on it. But the great thing is, when you are ready to change the photo, you just peel off the magnet and you can put on another one. Speaking of my LinkedIn post, there's your old Elvis Costello there.
Awesome. Yeah.
But again, we
Love it.
get to do cool stuff, right? We get to do varnishes and foils and really, really make them pop, right?
Hmm.
You get to do some really fun things, and then just for 5, 6, 7 bucks, you can flip them out in literally seconds. You don't have to take your wall down, recalibrate it, do all the things, right?
Repaint, right, right,
Yeah, and you asked, so the smallest we do, you have the minis that we kind of designed for college dorm rooms. That's a 4 inch by 4 inch. Probably
right.
the more common small one is the 8 inch by 8 inch. But
Hmm.
then see here, I think you can see here, these are 20 by 28 inches. So these are
Okay,
all,
wow.
yeah, same thing, same fresco tile. So yeah, so super simple. You can use this again. We do the varnishes, the foils. It can just be soft touch if you want a full bleed. But honestly, it's probably it's one of my favorite products that we've developed here for sure.
Hmm.
For years.
And people can just order that over your website.
Yeah, yeah, just
Right,
trulyengaging.com/fresco, or you can just go to the main page and find the
right,
fresco section. But yeah, they're very easy to order, and you can build a wall, you can do all kinds of cool things. So
right. Okay, well, moving back to another mailer, like we talked about before, mail that sticks around, flare mail, and that's these sticker postcards. I see and feel, a lot of embellishments at work here. Can you talk about the this unique kind of mail piece and the advantages in using them?
yeah,
Especially, like you said, the markets like, small businesses and schools.
yes, college, university, non-for-profits, corporate.
Hmm.
It's been super fun for us. So this product that you're referring to is our mailable full color sticker, right? So we're the first one
Hmm.
to be able to do a full 4/4, where we can obviously custom do the printing. We can do
Yeah.
very good printing on the side. This one isn't, but like if it was a football jersey or something, we can put every kid's name on it. But
Hmm.
yeah, college, university, it's been a great market for us, nonprofits. It's been great because we know it was a hit when early on our customers started doing their mailings, and the people who received the mailing they loved it so much they're calling whoever sent it out saying, "Where did you get this?" And so we really grew very quickly as a result of that. It was really tremendous. But the whole product really exists, because magnet material back during COVID became very hard to come by for about a 9 to 16 month period. Magnet material was difficult in the United States to get. So we
Right.
still had all these
Understandable.
we still had all these customers who were used to doing mailings, and so they're coming to us like, well, what are we going to do? What's plan B here? And that's when we got to work with some incredible engineers, and we developed this product. We're the only ones who have the material, as far as I'm aware. But
Hmm.
and then so we started testing it and building it. And so Scodex is the equipment we use for all
Right.
our varnish and foil and all that. And it's been an amazing partnership and just a great company for us to work with. Well, the president of Scodex was out in our plant early on when we were starting to just make this product. And we weren't putting varnish on it or anything like that. And I asked him, I'm like, you think we could? And he's like, let's try. Right. And so,
Love it.
long story short, I don't know how well this can, I'll try and show you just how much the varnish,
Hmm.
so it does a couple things. It protects it in the mail, but it really makes those stickers pop. And then it protects them because I think I grabbed one here, let's face it, everybody in America is holding up, has got a water bottle, got a
Yeah.
phone and a laptop, right?
Yeah.
Well, they with this protective coating, they last forever. Like it doesn't eventually wear out. And so it serves a lot of purposes. It looks incredible. And now, I mean, the technology of all the patterns and so we're not just slapping UV on there now. We're putting really all kinds of, let's see if I can get some examples. I don't know how well you can see this, but we're just doing some really neat things with texture. So we've gotten, it's a craft. I mean, you can't just buy the machine and expect it to do cool stuff. We've really had to work to make it really interesting tactile, if that makes sense. And so yeah, we've perfected that craft. We get better every week because the volume is such. But yeah, it's been a wonderful product for sure, and really just kind of exploded right in front of us. But yeah, just really fun. I mean,
Yeah.
once
Very cool.
once these customers really can see what's possible, right? And then with QR codes, that's another gift that came out of COVID was
Yeah.
QR code was kind of dying. Like it just wasn't that interesting. For a while, you had to have a special app on your phone just to read it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so once the QR code, it meant direct mail came alive again,
Yep.
and so our customers take advantage of that. And then there's a lot of obviously digital reporting, data reporting we can include with that now to really let it be a really smart mailer.
And I would think they could probably put them on these stickers as well.
Yep.
And that's a permanent way. Again, like if you put that on a sticker and it's on the mail piece, and
You're
somebody
preaching
peels
to
the
the
stickers
choir.
off, you know.
You're preaching to the choir. I think that's the greatest idea. And I have, look at this. It was a sample that we put together for grape reps, but I just
Mhm.
envisioned a QR code or something. If I was Dunkin' Donuts or if I was somebody, get you to
Right.
put the back of your phone, and every time you walk in, you swipe it, you scan it. Like, I don't know. We're at its infancy here because we could
It
put it,
really are. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that. We could, appliance companies could major appliance companies could do a mailing with a QR code that could sit on every appliance, and if it breaks down or a service schedule, you just watch a YouTube video or whatever, like
Right. Right.
right in the furnace or whatever. So I think we've been doing a lot of the fun stuff, but I think at some point it's going to get really interesting what's
Right.
possible, how we can solve a lot of problems for our customers.
Right. And I think too is getting marketing folks involved and saying, this is what the technology is. Where do you want to put that sticker? Where do you want to put that
Exactly.
sticker with a QR code?
Exactly.
And you get together with the product people, like you said, the people who sell refrigerators at
Right.
an appliance
Totally.
chain and say where would this work, for
Yeah.
you that people would see it when they're buying an appliance. And yeah, this really is in the infancy, but
Yeah. Yeah, if
uh, you know,
I was a mortgage broker, I think I'd put a QR code on every mailing, everything I did, every sticker,
yeah,
every magnet, and just all I have to do is scan it. In 2 seconds, you'll tell me what current rates are at, or something like
right,
that.
right.
And
Or hey, I'm thinking of buying my house. Oh, and then we bought our house through so and so
yeah,
right over there. They walk over the fridge, scan, boom.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Millions of uses.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
So on the company website, I see that you list a lot of production equipment, HP Indigo presses, all these different, die cutters, a lot of, uh, with your production facilities in Chicagoland. So what kind of flexibility does this give you for working on large direct mail campaigns?
Yeah, well, it gives us a lot of flexibility because well, first of all, with all our fleet of rotary die cutters in particular,
Right,
we can, those machines run 20 hours a day. They are their goal to us. And
right,
again, it's a craft, and it's something that you got to get the dies right. And especially when you're cutting stickers, right? Like this is a pretty delicate, not only are you cutting the product itself, but you're having to barely, get each sticker just right. And So yeah, I mean, direct mail, really we got into it because of the university market. That's really where we found our footing in it. And because of that, it's just exploded since then. But yeah, I mean, and Scodex is like I mentioned, was is just been a huge partner because honestly, it's just made everything we've done just a little more interesting, and
Hmm.
it is funny, just the tactile, what something tactile does to a mail piece it wakes it up. It really does, and to have a lot of fun with it too. Like we love doing samples. So we have a whole fleet of cut machines, Escos and whatnot, where we'd rather prototype a few ideas for you. Let's make it and show you what's possible. Because sometimes our customers come and it's like, no, we want this, and we'll show them that. But then we'll show them what we think would be really cool, right? And as
Hmm.
long as we can meet budgets and things like that, 9 times out of 10, it's like, oh man, that's really cool. So sometimes, oftentimes the customer just doesn't know what's even possible. So
Right, right. Yeah, I like that phrase though. You mentioned wakes up a mail piece like this for the National Postal Form that you did for 2025. It does make like a really big noticeable difference in several ways. So speaking about that, like in a more broad sense, what is, and this is a question I ask everybody who's appears on Meet the Mailers. What's one direct mail piece that you received recently that really made you stop and pay attention and respond to and why?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny because everyone in our household knows they're not allowed to throw out the mail because
Good. Yeah.
much like you, how you built this. I'm always curious, right? And I get where I live, maybe you do too. I get a lot of realtor mailings, right? I get a lot of
Hmm.
and some I think are, wow, that was quick. It was timely, a new listing in the neighborhood or whatever it was. Like I like getting smart things in the mail,
Right.
Some like, okay, it's not you didn't and I think the age of just blasting, that era is different now at best. And so I love when somebody is sending me something that is smart.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I this is going to be a little self-serving, but to me, this mailing right here, first off, the QR codes. Here's where the undergraduates go. Here's where the graduates go. Like these people put a lot of thought. LSU,
Hmm.
and look, this is the first time we combined both varnish and foil on a postcard mailing.
Okay. Wow.
And so to
Nice.
me, again, those alumni or whatever that mailing is are gonna get that, and they'll never have seen anything like that before. So I know we're gonna get them for we're gonna stop them in their tracks at least for a second. Like, what is
Right.
right? And if we end up on their water bottle, their phone, their laptop, what have you, man, we've done our job, right? Time of
Right.
day. So it's
Right.
pretty exciting. But yeah, so I just think anytime I get something that somebody did their homework, yeah, that would be my response to that.
Awesome. Well, you know what, Who's Mailing What in Direct Mail 2.0, we're all about helping people with their needs and wants in direct mail and omni-channel campaigns. And we've talked about a lot of that today. So how can people contact you and Truly Engaging to find out more about your products and your solutions?
Yeah, so broadly speaking, yeah, trulyengaging.com, you can see our whole category of markets and products and whatnot there. Um, I'm on LinkedIn, so you can always reach out to me that way and find
Hmm.
me. But yeah, our phone number's on the website. Just call me. I'd love to talk to anybody about any project and or at least get you to the right people who can really help you out. But yeah, trulyengaging.com will certainly get you close.
Awesome. Well, again, Dave Baird of Truly Engaging, thank you for being my guest today on Meet the Mailers. And thank all of you out there for joining us today. Remember that your questions and feedback are always welcome. You can tap those like and subscribe buttons to let us know how much you appreciate the program. And if you want to be highlighted in a future episode of Meet the Mailers, please reach out to me. My contact info can be found in the paragraph below by tapping the Show More button. And we can talk about how we can showcase your company, your solutions, and your thought leadership as well. Thanks again for watching Meet the Mailers, and see you next time.
All right. Thanks a lot, Paul.